What is this monstrosity? No, I don't mean the Aquaman movie. Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we'll be taking a look at some of the ugliest video game monsters out there.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we'll be looking at some of the absolute most vile and truly disgusting creatures in video game history. I'm Todd Haberkorn, and I've been to the dark side of ugly and back. And by that I mean I've cleaned litter boxes, changed baby diapers, and cleaned up dog vomit from eating cat poo. The dog's eating it, not me. I know disgusting!
Let's get ready to mojo!
The Tarkata, Mortal Kombat series.
The Tarkatans are in position. We await your order.
It is given, dearest Tanya.
Look hard enough and you're sure to find plenty of interesting and disgusting characters throughout the realms. That being said, none are quite as repulsive as the Tarkata. These creatures are an interspecies breed mixed from outworld humanoids and a demonic race from the Netherrealm, or an independent race, depending on which timeline you follow. Either way you slice it, they are a truly horrifying race of things. You just have to take a look at their eerie reptilian faces for proof. Oh, and they also have gigantic mouths full of long, razor-sharp teeth. They are best represented by Baraka and Melina, two Mortal Kombat veterans who have been scaring the lives out of gamers since the second game. And my 12th birthday party. I loved Mortal Kombat.
Ah, there they are. Three of your fellow counselors, whispering like handmaidens. About what, I wonder?
Clotho, God of War 2. According to Greek mythology, as one of the three Moirae who served as the embodiment of destiny, Clotho was responsible for spinning the threads of life, which represented the fate of all mortals. Sounds like the perfect candidate for a boss fight. However, there's one major difference between her representation in mythology and in God of War, and that is her physical appearance. The Greeks personified Clotho with a rather tame humanoid look. As for her in-game persona, she's an absolute unit. Impossibly large and grotesquely fat, when Kratos first comes across this sister of fate, she is comprised mostly of fatty, sagging rolls of skin, tentacle-like arms, and nasty growths. See, this is what happens when you eat In-N-Out Burger for 1,000 years. She's fun to fight, but man, is she nasty. The Regenerador, Resident Evil 4. No one does grotesque monsters quite like this franchise, to the point where even something as simple as the Regenerador can freeze your blood. Created on the island where the Plaga parasite was implanted into human hosts, at first glance these guys look almost normal compared to the other infected. With a few caveats, that is. They stand well over 7 feet tall, have sickly green skin, abnormally long arms, and make some very unsettling snarls. Even worse are its evolved counterparts, the Iron Maidens, who now have frickin' spikes protruding out of their bodies. Also, a special shout out to the final boss for the Resident Evil 2 remake. We're not going to show that spoiler here, but can I just say, holy hentai nightmare fuel, Capcom!
So, is it over?
I don't know. But if it's not, we'll stop it.
Necromorphs, Dead Space series. Oof, talk about barf fuel. With a name like that, you better believe these things are the epitome of nasty. The Necromorphs are the primary antagonists of the Dead Space series, which ensures that you are never too far from a good, solid spook. Essentially reanimated corpses that have been mutated to horrific degrees, you're kind of spoiled for choice when it comes to which is the more horrifying to look at. You've got the Lurkers, which are basically infants with tentacles sprouting from their backs. Then you've got the Guardians, which are wall-fused humans with sharp intestines wriggling all over the place. Oh, I hope you're eating right now. Of course, there are plenty more to pick from, but there's just something so repellent about these subspecies that you may need a doggy bag to throw up in when you traverse the rest of this game.
This is your captain speaking. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened as we enter the video game wonderland of nightmares and Pete Pants.
Dead Hand, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Residing in Kakariko Village's well and the graveyard's Shadow Temple, Dead Hand is a mini-boss with a pale zombie-like face, dark eyes, and elongated mouth, and multiple bloodstains covering its tall, inhuman body. It also controls several disembodied hands with sharp red claws that circle the chamber and capture prey. Yeah, good luck, Link. Of course, Dead Hand is not nearly as impactful today due to the game's primitive graphics, but this guy was pure nastiness back in 1998, let me tell you. All you 90s kids probably still dream of the horrors. It's probably the only reason we're hesitant about Ocarina of Time getting a complete remake. Can you imagine fighting a fully rendered and modernized version of this thing? Hashtag Todd has Haber left the building. Double hashtag. Guys, don't give me crap about pronunciation, okay? It's a fantasy world. Monstrosity of Sin, Dark Souls 3. When From Software calls one of their creations a monstrosity, you know it's going to be some effed up nonsense. We'll let the game speak for itself. The Monstrosity of Sin is a repulsive monster that slumbers in the profaned capital. With a frothing mouth shaped like a hand, stone-like flesh, and eyes on its chest, these monstrosities live up to their name. And to think this description didn't even include those nasty growths on its palm and fingers. To make matters worse, it drops a dung pie when killed, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Dark Souls has never been so repugnant, and that's saying something. The Crones, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. The White Wolf's final adventure is a positively massive game with dozens of horrifying creatures, but damn if the Crones didn't leave the biggest impression on us. The Crones, or the Ladies of the Wood, are 3 witch sisters who reside in Crookback Bog.
We helped her. She agreed to serve.
The Weavis is perhaps the most normal looking, despite her nauseating eye that will affect anyone with trypophobia. Then there's the Wispus, who carries around a bag of human limbs, dons a necklace of ears, and wears a creepy mask. And finally, there is the Brewis, who has bloated pink skin and wears a wicker basket mask. Not the bees! No, not the bees! These ladies are to be avoided for a reason.
Handsome knight.
The Brain of Mensis, Bloodborne. This might possibly be the most Lovecraftian creature ever to feature in a video game, period. A great one found by the School of Mensis, the sheer sight of it is enough to make you go insane. Seriously, simply gazing in its vicinity is enough to inflict you with massive frenzy damage. When you finally come across its weakened body, you will see that it is essentially a giant brain with protruding tentacles and massive eyes covering its frame. Just gazing at a giant brain with eyes is enough to make the player go mad, never mind the hunter. Seriously, what pills are taken before these creatures are thought up? The Spitter, Left 4 Dead 2. We suppose every special infected in the Left 4 Dead series is ugly, but nothing even comes close to the sheer repugnance of the Spitter. While the multiple sores and creepy elongated neck aren't exactly pleasant to behold, it's obviously her face that does everyone in. Her mouth and nose seem to have been corroded by the acid she spits up, as the entire bottom half of her face is just a horrific disfigured mess. Her nose has been eroded away and her mouth is grotesquely stretched, allowing us to see the deformed muscles in her jaw. Her pigtails are kinda cute though.
Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.